Hello, Tara here, and today we will be going through the entire admin UI. So we will be starting here at the top under main navigation all the way down to the calendar sync. So when you first log in to pick a time, the first place you and any other administrator would land would be the reports, specifically the event reports. So the event reports, depending on the type of event that you have, offers a variety of different type of reports. Now this is a parent-teacher event. These particular events have several reports that are available to you, with the most popular being the teacher and the parent schedule reports, both of which include an email report button. So if you click that, all of your teachers or all of your parents will receive their own individualized reports. For a simple parent-teacher event, you would also still have a teacher and a parent schedule with the same functionality of the email report, but you see that you have tremendously less reports here, largely because a simple PTA event does not include class or enrollment information, so those reports are not a part of this particular event's report options. And then let's say that you are doing a normal template event. So this is going to be an event that is generally used for health and wellness, small businesses, photography, options like that, effectively. All right. Now these events only have one type of report, and those reports go date, time, and then the name and the information of the individual. In all cases, you will have the option to add additional information to your reports whenever you'd like. So that is additional fields, and then you can go in and you can go by parent, student, contact, appointment field, contact. If you're doing a normal event, this still functions. It would give you the contact information, and in all cases, you have the option to send an email, print out the full report, or export it to a PDF or CSV Excel file. We also have a scheduled report delivery, as well as the subscribe to iCal feed option as well. Your account reports are going to be the reports that effectively affect everything on an account level. So these are going to be reports that affect all or most of your events. These are going to be reports pertaining to your invoices and reports pertaining to your administrators. Your events. So events preview is where you would go to create your event. You can delete your events. You can edit the details. You can change and update the name, the date, the category, the location, the type, the time zone. You can add additional columns right here, and then right here under event settings, you can also control the propagator, the event sorting, the event table columns. So those are the columns that you just saw on the event preview page. You can also, on the participant side, also add these columns in as well. And then here are your categories. To access the event itself, you would click on the event and then click the orange Go to Event button. Now, if you are doing a parent-teacher event, this is the layout that you would see. Now, the Appointment tab exists for all three event types. All three event types have a similar layout. What you would see is that for your PTA events, it will say that that these are your teachers. In a normal event, this would simply be a resource. Functionality remains largely the same. This is where you would create your time slots, start time, end time, duration, number of appointments per slot, multiple days. Now, unique to the regular PTA event type is the class editor. This does not exist for your simple PTA, and it does not exist for your normal event. This is to review the information for your classes and enrollment. So you would select a teacher's name, you could see their class, you could see how many students are involved. You would be able to move classes, add classes, delete classes, change the enrollments, add and remove teachers and teams. Then we have the settings. So under settings, we have the scheduler availability. This is when the scheduler is actually open to your participants. And then, of course, we have the appointment number limits and appointment cancellations. Now, your appointment number limits would change depending on the type of event that you do. Regular PTA versus simple PTAs have different options, and they both have different options also from the normal. Appointment cancellation, close appointment booking, your scheduler settings. Now, this includes the account URL and the event URL. This portion of the link is actually customizable. Scheduling settings, advanced settings. Vendor UI setup. This allows you to customize the layout of the time slots themselves within the event, and if you have a table view, which both the simple and the regular PTA have, layouts. So this would be, right now these slots are sitting at 4 px per minute, so that's what they look like right now. So if we were to change this, double it, you would see that they have doubled in size. Now the services are extremely beneficial for the schools. If you are a school, you would want to use this. If you are offering both virtual and in-person meetings, this would allow your participants to select an option before they actually book. Now, if you are not a school, these are also, this service option is also very good because it allows you to effectively kind of customize how you want your participants to choose options. So let's say you are a photography studio. You could set up your services by haircut, by picture type. If you're a stylist, you could decide that you want to offer certain styles and different time lengths, right? And all of these options would in fact be available before the individual books. Your participants would select their option, and then they would book, and the system would take care of the rest. Email and SMS setup. This is where you would go to customize the actual emails that go out. CUI messages allows you to customize the verbiage on the account as well as add a logo. And then appointment fields allows you to add any appointment specific questions that you may have for your participants. Online meeting issues. This only is seen if you choose to activate on one of your events the option to utilize one of our integrations. We do integrate with both Zoom and Google Meet. Appointment list houses all of the appointments past, present, and upcoming for all of the events. So this is where you would go if you needed to do something on a large scale. Perhaps you need to cancel an event. You can cancel the appointments here and then email everyone from this point. Perhaps you need everybody to be aware that there's going to be a delay in the schedule. You can email everybody within the event from here. Now, contacts houses everyone on the account. So this will be your administrators, your teachers, your students, your parents, your other non-parent participants. Everybody is here. From here, you are able to actually see any appointments that they have. You are also able to see their behavior. You know, canceling appointments, emails that have gone out, booking appointments. You can see the event, the appointment time, the time that they actually did that particular behavior, the resource in the case of it being a regular or simple PTA. Again, the resource would be the teacher. And then who actually did the booking? Was it that actual individual? Did a teacher or another administrator book on their behalf? All of that is shown right here. Vendor access, this would be for your teachers and lower level admins. And then parent-student map, this is for both your parents and your students so that you can see who is actually attached to whom. Mail Center allows you to send out emails to your contacts on the account without requiring them to book into an event. So it's, let's say you have all of your parents currently on your account, you have a new event coming up, you can email them the link from here instead of having to do it from another system. Importer. So the importer allows you to import the required files for a certain event. So if you're doing a regular PTA, you would have 4 files that are required, 2 that are optional. If you do a simple PTA, you would only have 1 required file, but there is also an option to import the student data as well. In addition to that, you do have the option to import people onto the account. You also have the option to import events, the time slots, and the appointments as well. Global setup. Now, global setup is comprised of 2 different options. The first one being the business. Business, top of the page, we have the settings. This is your billing contact, your business address, the account level information, your account logo, the actual account URL itself, the display options, email notifications. You ideally would want to update this to your school or company's name, any miscellaneous information. Any integration options. If you use a single sign-on with us, you would be accessing it from here. If you're utilizing Zoom, any payment options, all of that resides right here. Registration and login options. So this is if this allows you to control how simplistic you want login to be for your participants, or how stringent you want it to be for your participants. And then your advanced options, additional security, required fields, and your vendor state. Under contacts, we have the actual contact fields. Now, similar to the appointment fields, the layout is largely the same. The big difference is that appointment fields are actually event specific, and so each time somebody books an appointment, they would be asked to fill in these fields. Contact fields, these are done at an actual account level, and so these would be fields that your participants would fill in when they first access the account, regardless of whether or not there is a single sign-on or they're just logging in using a password. And then finally, we also have our calendar sync, and calendar sync allows you to sync up one of your calendars, either Google or Outlook, to the system. This is required if you intend to do a Google Meet integration. Now, we do have additional options with Google and other virtual options where you can simply just create a single URL and place it into the room column within an event. But if you actually want to do a Google Meet integration, you need to set up your calendar. It takes less than a minute to do. And you would simply select one of your calendars and sync it, and as people book on pick a time, that data would be sent to your Google or Outlook calendar. And that is the Admin UI.